it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have a book outlet haul for you, so stay tuned. So I know I am way behind on filming these, but this is my April book outlet haul. I'm hopefully going to get caught up on all of my book outlet hauls very, very soon, but I have other videos that I have to put out too, so these kind of get backed up a little bit, and there's so many of them that I can't do them all in one video. So today I have my April book outlet haul. Okay, so we'll start with this first smaller box. Got my receipt here on top, and then we've got paper. That's all the paper. Okay, so first off we have All the Stars Left Behind by Ashley Graham. This says, I can barely walk, I won't ever run, but I will win this war. Relocating to Arctic Norway would put a freeze on anyone's social life. For Lita Lindgren, with her crutches and a chip on her shoulder the size of her former Manhattan home, the frozen tundra is just as boring as it sounds. Until she meets her uncle's gorgeous employee. Unfortunately, no matter how smoking hot the guy is, Roar comes with secrets as unnerving as his moving tattoos. And Lita doesn't trust him. Roar shouldn't be drawn to the moody human girl with eyes that leave him weak in the knees. But when Lita gets shot by one of his enemies and survives, Roar finally understands why he's drawn to her. Lita is exactly what he was sent to Earth to find, a weapon of immense power capable of saving his planet. She just doesn't know it yet. I thought it sounded interesting. And it's a really pretty cover too. And I got this for $2.71. Okay, next up is her Fearful Symmetry by Audrey Niffenegger. She is the, ooh, that's very shiny. She is the author of The Time Traveler's Wife, and I really enjoyed that movie. I haven't read the book, but I enjoyed that movie. And this is about these twin girls. Sorry, try not to blind you with the book. It's about these twin girls who live in, I think, Chicago, I believe. Yes, Chicago. And they get this letter saying that they have inherited a London apartment from their estranged aunt. Now, if I didn't say it earlier, these girls are twins, and their mother and their aunt were also twins. And the only stipulation that the aunt has for them inheriting this home is that they have to live in it for at least a year before they can sell it, and they can never let their parents enter this home. During this year that they live there, they get to know all of their aunt's neighbors and their aunt's like elusive lover, and they learn things that they had no idea about regarding their family. And I thought it sounded really interesting. And I got this for $3.64. Okay, next up we have A Simple Favor by Darcy Bell. And this says, A Simple Favor is a feverish and expertly plotted tale of psychological suspense. A twisting freefall filled with betrayals and reversals, secrets and revelations, love and loyalty, murder and revenge. Darcy Bell exposes the dark underbelly of female friendship in this taut, unsettling, and completely absorbing story that holds you in its grip until the final page. It starts with a simple favor, an ordinary kindness mothers do for one another. When glamorous Emily asks Stephanie to pick up her son after school, Stephanie happily says yes. Emily has a life that would make any woman jealous. She is the perfect mother with a dazzling career working for a famous fashion designer in Manhattan. Stephanie, a widow with a son in kindergarten, lonely in their Connecticut suburb, turns to her daily blog for connection and validation. Stephanie imagines Emily to be her new confidant and is shocked when Emily suddenly disappears without a trace, leaving her son and husband with no warning. Stephanie knows something is terribly wrong. Unable to keep away from the grieving family, she soon finds herself entangled with Sean, Emily's handsome, reticent British husband. But she can't ignore the nagging feeling that he's not being honest with her about Emily's disappearance. Is Stephanie imagining things? How well did she really know her best friend? Stephanie begins to see that nothing, not the friendship, love, or even an ordinary favor, is as simple as it seems. And I thought this sounded amazing. And I got this for $5.94. Okay, next up we have Unforgettable Summer by Catherine Clark. This is actually 2 books in one bind up. We have So in Love, INN, plus Better Latte Than Never. This is just like fun contemporary summery read. It says 2 irresistible stories about 2 unforgettable summer romances. So in love, Liza McKenzie has landed her dream job working at the Tides Inn. It will be a summer of fun, friends, and independence if only she can figure out a way to become part of the inn crowd. But fitting in isn't always easy, especially when the hotel's cutest employee keeps sending mixed messages. For the second book, it says, this is not how Peggy Fleming Farrell planned to spend her summer. But in Better Latte Than Never, she owes her parents money after crashing 2 cars. She's already been fired from her first job, and she's this close to quitting her new one. And who could blame her? Being the barista in a gas station coffee shop when you can't drive anywhere is just wrong. Peggy is determined to make the best of a bad situation, though, and the first step to having her summer is getting the boy she's been pining for to finally notice her. After all, at this point, what does she have left to lose? And this was $3.64. Okay, next up we have The Boy Next Door by Katie Van Ark. This is about a boy and a girl that are ice skating partners, and well, he's also the boy next door. She's been in love with him forever. He's never dated anyone for more than 2 weeks, but he can't imagine partnering ice skating with anybody else other than Maddie. And because of his history with girls, he wants to think of her as a sister, but she's like in love with him. And then their coach puts together this romantic ice skating routine, and things kind of shift, and Maddie's hoping that this is the relationship she's been waiting for, and Gabe is afraid this is the breakup he's been worrying about. And I got this for 99 cents. Okay, next up we have The Ice Queen by Nellie Neuhaus. And this says, the body of 92-year-old Jossie Goldberg, Holocaust survivor and American citizen, is found shot to death execution style in his house near Frankfurt. A 5-digit number is scrawled in blood at the murder scene. The autopsy reveals an old and unsuccessfully covered tattoo on the corpse's arm, a blood-type marker once used by Hitler's SS. Detectives Pia Kirchhoff and Oliver von Bodstein are faced with a riddle. Was the old man not Jewish after all? Who was he really? 2 more similar murders happen, one of a wheelchair-bound elderly woman in a nursing home, and one of a man with a cellar filled with Nazi paraphernalia, and slowly the connections among the victims become evident. All of them were lifelong friends with Vera Kaltinsky, Baroness, a well-respected philanthropist, and head of an old, rich family that she rules with an iron fist. Pia and Oliver follow the trail which leads them all the way back to the end of World War II and the era of Poland that then belonged to East Prussia. No one is who they claim to be, and things only begin to make sense when the 2 investigators realize what the bloody number stands for and uncover an old diary and an eyewitness who is finally willing to come forward. Nellie Neuhaus's The Ice Queen is a character and plot-driven mystery about revenge, power, and long-forgotten, covered-up secrets from a time in German history that still affects the present. And this was $4.07. Okay, next up we have The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. And this is about a guy named Ted meets a girl named Lily on a flight going from London to Boston, and they start talking over martinis. They play a little game. Next thing you know, Ted's telling Lily that he's you know, unhappy in his marriage and wishes he could kill his wife, and Lily surprisingly offers to help. Once back in Boston, a relationship forms between these two. They plan this whole scheme to murder his wife, and as Ted is falling in love with Lily, he's starting to get concerns about holes in their scheme and worrying that they might get caught. And yeah, that is what this is about, and this was $4.07 as well. Okay, next up we have two other stories by Catherine Clark in one bind-up. The bind-up's called The Summer of Everything, and the two stories are Picture Perfect and Wish You Were Here. This says, 2 irresistible stories about how sometimes leaving home can be the best way to find yourself. In Picture Perfect, Emily can't wait to spend her summer on the beautiful beaches of the Outer Banks, North Carolina. It has been 2 years since she went on a trip with her 3 closest childhood friends. 2 years that she's hoping will erase the memory of the last time she saw Spencer, the boy who broke her heart. And what better way to forget about Spencer than to have the perfect summer fling with Blake, the boy living in the beach house next door. But embarking on a new romance is more difficult than she expected when her feelings for her first love aren't exactly a thing of the past. In Wish You Were Here, Ariel is embarking on the summer vacation of a lifetime. At least, she hopes this is the only trip like this she'll ever take. Stuck on an America's Heartland bus tour with her family, leaving her amazing boyfriend back home, and maintaining her track team endurance by sprinting through rest stop parking lots. Who could survive 4 weeks of that? But as she spends more time with the intriguing, also miserable Andre, Ariel begins to learn that sometimes you just have to go where the road takes you, even if the tour bus won't. And again, these sounded like cute, fun, summer YA contemporaries. And this was $2.71. Okay, so last in this box we have books 2 and 3 of the Looking Glass Wars by Frank Bedore, and that's Seeing Red and Arch Enemy. And if y'all don't know, The Looking Glass Wars is an Alice in Wonderland retelling. So I pulled it up on Goodreads so I could tell you about the first book. It says, Alice of Wonderland. When Alice Hart, newly orphaned heir to the Wonderland throne, flees from the pool of tears to escape her murderous Aunt Red, she finds herself lost and alone in Victorian London. Befriended by an aspiring author named Lewis Carroll, Alice tells the violent, heartbreaking story of her young life. Alice trusts this author to tell the truth so that someone, somewhere, will find her and bring her home. But he gets the story all wrong. He even spells her name incorrectly. Fortunately, royal bodyguard Hatter Madigan knows all too well the truth of Alice's story, and he's searching every corner of our world to find the lost princess and return her to Wonderland, to battle Red for her rightful place as the Queen of Hearts. The Looking Glass Wars unabashedly challenges our Wonderland assumptions of mad tea parties, grinning Cheshire cats, and a curious little blonde girl to reveal an epic battle in the endless war for imagination. And I just love like an Alice in Wonderland retelling. Well, I love retellings in general, but I think Alice in Wonderland retellings are probably my favorite. So it's really cool to have the next books in this series. Seeing Red was $3.64 and Arch Enemy was $3.64. So I got all 10 of these books for $35.05, and then I used $20 in rewards and only had to pay $15.05 for all 10 books, which is amazing, which comes out to being like $1.50 to $1.51 a book. How awesome is that? Okay, now on to the next box. Okay, inside this one we have our receipt, and then we've got some paper, and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of books. Okay, so the first thing I see here is Everything Beautiful Is Not Ruined by Danielle Young Ullman. And this is about a girl named Ingrid who has traveled all over Europe with her opera singer mother, and it was an amazing time and the music was soaring, and now she's being sent to this wilderness survival trek thing, and it's for like at-risk teens, and she has no idea why she's sent here and doesn't know why the music really stopped. Thought it sounded interesting. I have actually heard of this before, and I heard good things about it. This was $4.39. Okay, next up we have Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett, and I have heard nothing but rave reviews about this book. Everybody seems to absolutely love it, so I wanted to check out what the hype was all about. This says, "The woods, the stars, and the boy who broke her heart." Ever since last year's homecoming dance, best friends turned best enemies, Zori and Lennon have made an art of avoiding each other. It doesn't hurt that their families are the modern-day Californian version of the Montagues and Capulets. But when a group camping trip goes south, Zori and Lennon find themselves stranded in the wilderness, alone, together. What could go wrong? With no one but each other for company, they have no choice but to hash out their issues via witty jabs and insults as they try to make their way to safety. But fighting each other while also fighting off the forces of nature makes getting out of the woods in one piece less and less likely. As the two travel deeper into Northern California's rugged backcountry, secrets and hidden feelings surface. But can Zori and Lennon's rekindled connection survive out in the real world? Or was it just a result of the fresh forest air and the magic of the twinkling stars? And I got this for $3.89. Also by Jen Bennett, we have The Anatomical Shape of a Heart. I've also heard really good things about this as well. This says, Beatrix Adams knows exactly how she's spending the summer before her senior year. Determined to follow in Da Vinci's footsteps, she's ready to tackle the one thing that will give her an advantage in a museum-sponsored scholarship contest: drawing actual cadavers. But when she tries to sneak her way into a hospital's willed body program and misses the last metro home, she meets a boy who turns her summer plans upside down. Jack is charming, wildly attractive, and possibly one of San Francisco's most notorious graffiti artists. On midnight buses and city rooftops, Beatrix begins to see who Jack really is, and tries to uncover what he's hiding that leaves him so wounded. But will these secrets come back to haunt him, or will the skeletons in her family's closet tear them apart? And this was $3.29. Okay, next up we have Witchwood by Tahara Mafi. This is the companion to Furthermore, Furthermore. And I think this is such a gorgeous cover too. Just like Furthermore, they're so, so beautiful. This says, our story begins on a frosty night. Also in pages, snowflakes, sorry. Laylee can barely remember the happier times before her beloved mother died, before her father, driven by grief, lost his wits and his way, and she was left as the sole remaining Mordshore in the village of Witchwood, destined to spend her days scrubbing the skins and souls of the dead in preparation for the afterlife. It's become easy to forget and easier still to ignore not only her ever-increasing loneliness, but the way her overworked hands are stiffening and turning silver, just like her hair. But soon, a pair of familiar strangers appear, and Laylee's world is turned upside down as she rediscovers color, magic, and the healing power of friendship. Lush and enchanting, critically acclaimed author Tahara Mafi weaves together an all-new magical adventure in this dark Parisian fantasy, a companion to the New York Times best-selling Furthermore. And I got this for $8.09. Next up we got The Chalk Man by C.J. Tudor. And I picked this up totally because of Kayla over at Books and Lala. I watched when she read this book as one that she was going to get rid of from her closet, but then she let people like make her TBR, and this is one of the ones that she read and she ended up loving it. So I wanted to get it and check it out because I'm always looking for a good new thriller. This says, In 1986, Eddie and his band of misfit friends are on the verge of adolescence. Bonded by mutual awkwardness and a yearning for excitement, they spend their days biking around their English village looking for adventure. The Chalkmen are their secret code, little chalk stick figures they draw for each other as hidden messages, warning of bullies or signifying meeting spots. But one morning, Eddie finds a chalk man directing him into the nearby woods. He follows the message only to find the dismembered body of a teenage girl. That is the day when everything changes. In 2016, Eddie is a grown man, working as a teacher at his old school, nursing a drinking problem and trying to forget his past, until one day he gets a letter with no return address containing a single chalk stick figure, the same figure he saw the day he found the body. Soon he discovers that each of his old friends has received the same mysterious note. At first they brush it off as a bad prank, but when one of them is killed, Eddie realizes that saving himself means finally figuring out what really happened all those years ago. But digging into the past proves more dangerous than he could have imagined, because in this town, everyone has secrets, no one is truly innocent, and some will do anything to keep the truth buried. Irresistibly addictive, bone-chillingly harrowing, and masterfully plotted right up to its jaw-dropping ending, The Chalk Man is the must-read thriller of 2018. And I'm excited to try this out. It's not as thick as I thought it would have been, too. It's only 277 pages. And this was $7.09. Okay, so these next few books are actually graphic novels. I have the first one in this series, and I need to get volume 2 and 3, but I was able to find on Book Outlet volume 4 and 5 of Jem and the Holograms. Love this. This one is Enter the Stingers, and this one is Truly Outrageous. I freaking loved Jem growing up. Also, I found on Book Outlet volume 1 of Jem and the Holograms, The Misfits, which are like the rivals for Jem and the Holograms. And I love that. So, Enter the Stingers was $8.09. Truly Outrageous was $7.09. And The Misfits was $6.49. So excited about these. Next we have When the Moon Was Ours by Anna Marie McLemore. And I think this is another one that I found from Kayla over at Books and Lala. This says, to everyone who knows them, best friends Neil and Sam are as strange as they are inseparable. Roses grow from Neil's wrists, and rumors say that she spilled out of a water tower when she was 5. Sam is known for the moons he paints and hangs in the trees, and for how little anyone knows about his life before he and his mother moved to town. But as odd as everyone considers Neil and Sam, even they stay away from the Bonner girls. 4 beautiful sisters rumored to be witches. Now they want the roses that grow from Neil's skin, convinced that their scent can make anyone fall in love, and they're willing to use every secret Neil has fought to protect to make sure she gives them up. Recipient of a Stonewall Honor and long listed for the National Book Award, When the Moon Was Ours is a stunning and utterly romantic novel packed with gorgeous prose and just a hint of magic. And this was $3.89. Next up we have another Jen Bennett book. This is Alex Approximately. I've seen this on Book Outlet for like ever. It seems to be always on there. But I keep hearing people talk about Jen Bennett books, and I do actually have another Jen Bennett book. So I wanted to get more of them because everybody seems to absolutely love them. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy them as well. This says, classic movie fan Bailey Mink Rydell has spent months crushing on a witty film geek she only knows online as Alex. 2 coasts separate the teens until Bailey moves in with her dad, who lives in the same California surfing town as her online crush. Faced with doubts, what if he's a creep in real life, or worse, Bailey doesn't tell Alex she's moved to his hometown, or that she's landed a job at the local tourist trap museum, or that she's being heckled daily by the irritatingly hot museum security guard Porter Roth, aka her new arch nemesis. But life is a whole lot messier than in the movies, especially when Bailey discovers those tricky fine lines dividing hate, love, and whatever it is she's starting to feel for Porter. And as the summer months go by, Bailey must choose whether to cling to a dreamy online fantasy of Alex or take a risk on an imperfect reality with Porter. The choice is both simpler and more complicated than she realizes because Porter Roth is hiding a secret of his own. Porter is Alex. Approximately. Okay, that doesn't sound really cute. And this was $3.89. Okay, so as for the last 5 books in this box, it's all part of a series which Xander and I have started. We read the first book and absolutely loved it, and then I was able to find the next 5 books in that series on Book Outlet, and I bought all of them because, well, we really enjoyed the series and want to continue it. And that is Keeper of the Lost Cities. So we've got book 2, which is Exile, book 3, which is Everblaze, book 4, which is Never Seen, book 5, which is Lodestar, and book 6, which is Nightfall, which unfortunately they didn't have a paperback copy, which I want to try to keep like all the same kind. And the first one we had was paperback, and I was able to get all of these in paperback, but the only one they had of this was hardcover. But I still wanted to get it because it's what they had. But this is about a girl named Sophie who has always been different, hasn't really fit into her family, hasn't fit in with people at school. She's super smart, has like a photographic memory, she's telepathic, she can, you know, hear everybody. And one day on a field trip with her school, she meets a boy that's not from her school. And he pretty much informs her that the reason she's never fit in anywhere is because she's not from there. And that he can take her to where she's from. Well, it turns out she's not human. She is something else. And that's why she's never fit in anywhere. And he takes her to where she's actually from. And even there, she doesn't quite fit in because she's special. For one, there's never been one that's grown up with humans before. And she's able to do a lot more than most of her kind are able to do. And there's also this school aspect that very much gave me like Hogwarts feels, where they're going to like hone their special abilities and identify what abilities each has and what jobs they'll have in the future and all of that. And Xander and I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to continuing this series. I paid $4.89 for Nightfall, $3.89 for Lodestar, $3.89 for Never Seen. Also, did I show you how freaking big these are? Like, this one is 672 pages. These are big freaking books. $3.89 for Everblaze and $3.29 for Exile. So for all 15 of these books, they were $76.05. However, there was a sale going on that if you spent $75 or more, you got $20 off, which brought this down to $56.05. And then I used $20 in rewards and paid $36.05 for all 15 of these books. So have you guys read any of these books? Would you like to read any of these books? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!